The numbness I can't explain. God, I don't even know how to begin this prayer, because even praying feels like I'm pretending to be someone I'm not, someone who feels, someone who still knows how. I sit here, in silence, not because I want peace, but because I don't know what else to say. I don't know what to feel. I don't know what I'm waiting for anymore. I just know something's not right, and it hasn't been for a long time. I'm not broken in the way people expect. I'm not crying. I'm not screaming. I'm not falling apart. I'm just numb. I wake up and go through the motions: eat, shower, work, scroll, smile, respond, repeat, like I'm wearing a human costume that's lost all meaning. Everything feels like background noise, even joy, even pain, even you. I used to feel you. I remember that. There were moments when your presence wrapped around me like warmth in winter, moments where worship brought tears to my eyes for no reason, except that I knew I wasn't alone. I would sing, I would pray, I would believe. I felt alive. But now, I feel like I've flatlined inside. I know I'm breathing. I know my heart is beating, but it doesn't feel like living. It feels like floating, drifting, waiting for something to matter again. I'm not even asking for a miracle, God. I don't need lightning from heaven or some dramatic sign. I'm just asking for something. Anything. A whisper, a crack in the silence, a flicker of warmth in this frozen space I've been trapped in. But even now, I'm scared I won't hear anything back, that this numbness is the new normal, that maybe I've messed up too much, or shut down too long, or disconnected so far that even you don't know how to reach me anymore. But somewhere, beneath the numbness, there's a whisper that won't die. It's faint, it's fragile, but it's still mine. It says, God, I miss you, even if I don't feel you, even if I can't cry, even if I don't know how to be anymore. I miss being known. I miss being held. I miss caring. I miss believing that I matter, not just to others, but to you. I don't want to live like this. I don't want to float through days that all blur together. I don't want to pretend everything's fine when it's not. But the truth is, I'm scared. Scared that even if I open myself, there's nothing left inside, that I've gone too cold, too silent, too far. So I'm starting here, in this numbness, in this space that feels like nothing, with this prayer that doesn't even sound like a prayer, just a sigh wrapped in words, a reaching without knowing if you'll catch it. God, can you feel me even when I can't feel you? Can you love me in this state? Can you meet me in the numb? Because I don't have much to offer. No passion, no tears, no grand promises. Just a soul that feels frozen, but still remembers what warmth used to be. Just a heart that barely beats with hope, but hasn't stopped completely. I don't need fireworks. I don't need fixing. I just need you. In the dark, in the quiet, in the numb. Please stay. Please stay, even when I feel like I'm not worth staying for. Because somewhere, beneath all this stillness, is someone who still wants to be found.
When tears don't come anymore. God, I used to cry. Even when it hurt, I used to feel enough to break. But now I just sit there, still, dry-eyed, blank. People think no tears mean I'm strong, that silence means peace, that smiling means I've moved on. But you know the truth, don't you? You see through the surface. You see the ache I can't name anymore. You see the quiet unraveling that happens when pain outlasts tears. I didn't choose to go numb. It just happened. At first, I thought I was getting better. Less crying, less shaking, less hurting. But then I realized it wasn't healing. It was shutting down. It was my soul quietly closing the doors because no one was knocking anymore. Because no one noticed the flood when I was drowning from the inside out. Now, everything that should break me just passes through. Disappointments, loneliness, even good news. I nod, I reply. I function, but I don't feel. And God, that scares me more than the pain ever did. Because pain at least reminded me I was human. Tears at least meant I still had a heart. But this hollow space, this gray, silent numbness, it feels like a slow death without a funeral. I want to cry, God. I want to scream. I want to sob in your arms until I can't breathe. Because maybe then I'd feel something real again. Maybe then I'd believe that I'm still alive inside. But the tears won't come. Not even when I beg. Not even when I try to force them. My body's tired, my soul is quiet, and I don't know how to open the dam anymore. So I come to you not with weeping, but with this dull ache that won't leave. With this tightness in my chest that never turns into release. With this tired face that's forgotten what it looks like to cry. Can you hold this, God? This non-breaking, this silent grief, this quiet collapse? Can you sit beside someone who doesn't even know how to fall apart properly? I don't need fixing. I just need to be seen, to be known, to be met in the middle of my nothingness. Because this numbness isn't apathy. It's not that I don't care. It's that I cared too much for too long, and no one noticed when the weight got too heavy. I carried things in silence. I smiled when I wanted to scream. I held others together while I was falling apart. And now I'm here, empty, worn out, dry. No tears, no breakdown, just a quiet giving up in pieces over time. But somehow, even in this state, I still whisper your name. Not with passion, not with praise, but with a quiet hope that maybe you still hear the prayers that don't sound like prayers. Maybe you still see the pain that doesn't leak from the eyes. Maybe you still count the heartbreaks that don't make a sound. So here I am, offering you this invisible ache, this unmourned grief, this quiet stillness that's anything but peaceful. And I ask not for tears, but for presence. For you. Not to fix it, not to rush it, but just to be here. To sit with me in the silence, to hold me in the numbness, to remind me that even this is not too far for you. Because I can't cry, God, but I still feel something stir, something faint, like a whisper beneath the silence. It says, "You're still mine," even like this. And that is almost enough to bring tears back again.
God, I don't even know what's wrong. God, I don't even know what to say anymore. I don't know what I'm feeling, or if I'm feeling at all. I just know something inside me isn't right, and I don't know how to name it. I used to be able to explain things, why I was sad, what triggered it,
what I needed. But now, I can't tell if I'm exhausted or empty, if I'm grieving or just gone. I keep asking myself, what's wrong with me? Why do I wake up with a heavy chest for no reason? Why do I avoid joy, even when it's near? Why do I want to run away from everything, even myself? And the truth is, I don't know. I don't know what broke. I don't know where the disconnect started. I just know I'm here, somewhere between functioning and fading. I laugh when I'm supposed to. I work. I respond. I show up. But inside, there's a fog, a dull hum of confusion, a feeling that I'm out of sync with myself and with you. I want to cry out for help, but I don't even know what I need help with. There's no crisis, no big tragedy, just a slow unraveling of things I can't explain. I used to feel grounded. Even in my storms, I could feel your presence, like an anchor, like a hand I could reach for in the dark. But now, it's like I'm walking through life with my arms stretched out, grasping at shadows, trying to find something solid, but everything passes through my fingers. I know you're real. I haven't stopped believing that, but I've stopped feeling it. And that scares me more than doubt ever could, because doubt at least engages the heart. This is just drift, spiritual drift, emotional fog, a soul that's awake enough to notice something's wrong, but too tired to figure it out. So, I bring you this confusion, this tangled knot inside me that I don't know how to untie. I bring you the questions I'm afraid to ask out loud. What if this is just who I am now? What if the version of me that felt alive isn't coming back? What if I've lost something permanent? And even deeper, what if you're trying to reach me, but I've gone so numb I can't hear? God, I don't want to stay like this. I don't want to pretend forever. I don't want to live half alive, but I don't know where to begin. I don't know what to fix. I don't even know what's broken. So maybe this prayer isn't about asking for answers. Maybe it's just about being honest, about admitting that I'm lost, even if I still look fine to everyone else. Maybe you don't need me to figure it out before I come. Maybe you just want me to come, even messy, even confused, even silent. So here I am, bringing you my not knowing, my disorientation, my aching uncertainty. I won't pretend to be okay today. I won't give you pretty words. I'll just sit here with this heaviness I can't name and ask, can you meet me here? Even when I can't explain what I need? Even when I don't know what's wrong? Even when the only thing I can say is, God, I don't know? Because maybe you're not waiting for the perfect prayer. Maybe you just want the honest one. So this is mine. I don't know what's wrong, but I'm still reaching, still whispering, still hoping you can untangle what I can't even describe. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough for today.
I'm not angry. I'm not okay. God, I want to start this part by telling you something simple.
I'm not angry. I know sometimes people push you away when they're mad at you. They raise their fists. They ask why with venom in their voice. They blame. They scream. They curse. But I don't have that in me. Not because I'm holy, not because I've found peace, but because I'm too tired to be angry. Anger takes energy, and I don't have any left. I'm not angry, God, but I'm not okay either. I'm not fine. I'm not healed. I'm not whole. I'm just here, surviving, existing. I'm the kind of not okay that's invisible, the kind you can hide behind routines, behind smiles, behind quiet replies like, I'm good or just tired. But you know better. You always do. You see the space between my words. You hear the ache in my silence. You feel the weight I carry, even when I act like I'm strong. And I wonder, how many times have I told myself, at least I'm not angry, as if that somehow makes me healthy? But numbness isn't healing. Quiet isn't peace. Not fighting isn't the same as being okay. Sometimes it just means you've given up, trying to be heard, given up expecting comfort, given up hoping anything will change. That's where I am, God. I'm not fighting you. I just feel forgotten, faded like a ghost of who I used to be. I don't rage. I don't protest. I just disappear a little more each day. People say I'm so calm, so steady, so easygoing, but they don't know this isn't calm. It's collapse. It's surrender, not to you, but to hopelessness. And even as I say this, I feel guilt creeping in. Shouldn't I be more grateful? Shouldn't I be stronger? Shouldn't I try harder to pull myself together? But God, I don't have anything left to pull with. The pieces have been scattered too long. And yet, in this numb, not angry, not okay place, I still come to you. Not because I have the strength, but because I have nowhere else to go. Not because I believe I'll suddenly feel better, but because even in the silence, I still believe you're real. You're just quiet right now. Or maybe I'm the one too far away to hear. I honestly don't know. What I do know is this: I'm not angry. I'm not okay. And I need you. Not to fix everything, not to erase the fog, not even to answer all my questions, just to be near, to sit with me, to let me feel like I'm not crazy for feeling nothing. Because maybe this is still part of the journey. Maybe healing doesn't always look like tears and shouting and breakthroughs. Maybe sometimes it looks like laying down on the floor and whispering, God, I can't carry this anymore. And maybe that whisper is still worship. So here's mine, a whispered offering from a soul too tired to pretend, too weary to fight, too numb to cry, but not too far gone to reach for you. I'm not angry. I'm not okay, but I'm still yours. Even like this.
I'm so tired of pretending. God, I'm tired. Not just tired like I need sleep. Not just tired like I've had a long day. I'm soul tired, heart tired, tired in a way that goes down to the bones of me. And it's not just the exhaustion that's killing me, it's the pretending. I'm tired of pretending I'm okay, tired of pretending I'm fine, tired of putting on a smile that doesn't belong to me anymore. God, I've become so good at wearing masks that I think I've forgotten what my real face looks like. I laugh at the right times. I nod along when people talk. I say I'm good, even when I feel nothing, because it's easier, it's safer. It keeps the world from asking questions I don't know how to answer. I don't even remember when it started, this habit of hiding. Maybe it was one day of holding it together that turned into a lifetime. And now I live behind performance, behind roles, behind the version of me people expect to see. But underneath it all, I'm cracking. Not in a dramatic falling apart way, just a slow crumble, a quiet unraveling behind the scenes. And I'm so tired, God. Tired of being strong, tired of being silent, tired of being the only one who's always okay. Because I'm not. I'm not okay, and I haven't been for a while. But it's hard to admit that when the world has already decided who you are. When even the people closest to you say things like, "You're always so calm. You're so resilient. You always bounce back." And inside, I want to scream, "No, I don't. I just never told you when I didn't." I want someone to see past the mask, to notice the exhaustion in my eyes, to recognize the weight I carry without saying a word. But the truth is, I've gotten so used to pretending, I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to be real anymore without feeling guilty for it. Like I'm letting people down. Like I'm ruining their version of me. Like I'm not allowed to be the one who needs help. So instead, I just keep acting and acting and acting. And now I don't even know who I am off stage. But God, if anyone knows the real me, it's you. You see past the smile, past the small talk, past the I'm okays and I'm just tireds. You see the worn-out child behind the adult costume, the one who's been strong for too long, the one who just wants to rest without explaining why. So here I am, taking off the mask in your presence, letting it fall, even if only for a moment, because I can't carry both the pain and the performance anymore. Something has to give. And today, it's the pretending. I don't need to be impressive to be loved by you. I don't need to be put together to be held. I don't need to fake strength to be accepted. You are the only one I can fall apart in front of and still be safe. So here I am, God. Tired, messy, real. And somehow that feels like the beginning of something honest. Maybe even holy. Maybe even healing. I don't want to hide anymore.
The silence between us. God, can I be honest with you? I feel like there's a wall between us. Not an angry wall, not a rebellious one, just a quiet one. And I don't know who built it. I still believe in you. I haven't let go of that, not even now. But I can't feel you. I can't hear you. I can't sense your nearness the way I used to. It's like I'm reaching out through fog, hoping there's still a hand on the other side, but never quite feeling it touch mine. I whisper prayers, but they feel like they vanish midair. I open my Bible, but the words don't light up like they used to. I try to worship, but the songs sound hollow. And I keep wondering, is it me, God? Did I drift too far? Did I close off some part of myself without knowing? Or is this just a season of silence? Because it's not just that I can't hear you, it's that I miss you. I miss feeling close. I miss the warmth, the gentle whispers in the middle of the night, the moments when I knew you were speaking, even when no one else heard. Now it just feels like quiet. Not peaceful quiet, lonely quiet. And it hurts. Because I'm still here, God. Still showing up. Still praying, even if the words are shaky. Still hoping, even if it's barely a flicker. But your side feels so still, so distant. I don't want to accuse you. I don't want to pretend you've abandoned me, because I know you haven't. But it's hard, so hard, to hold on to something I can't feel anymore. And still, I hold on. Not because I'm strong, but because I don't know where else to go. Because even in this silence, I still believe you're listening. Even when I don't hear you, I still trust you're near. But God, I need to say this out loud. I miss you. I miss us. I miss feeling safe in your presence. I miss crying in prayer because I knew you were holding my heart. I miss sensing that I was seen, even when the world passed me by. And now I'm not sure what to do with this distance. Do I press in harder? Do I wait in stillness? Do I let the silence break me or teach me? Because part of me wants to run, to fill the silence with noise, with distraction, with anything that feels easier than this spiritual ache. But I won't. I'll stay. Not because it's easy, but because love stays. Because faith stays, even when it feels one-sided. Because you stayed for me. Through my silence, through my numbness, through my seasons of absence. So now I stay for you. I stay in the quiet. I stay in the fog. I stay in the ache of missing you. And I choose to believe, not based on how I feel, but based on who you are. You are still good. You are still close, even when I can't feel it. Maybe especially then. So if this is a wall, let it be one that you can tear down. If this is a fog, let your light slowly burn through it. And if this is just a season, then hold me while it lasts. Because even in the silence, my heart is still reaching. Even in the distance, my soul still whispers, I want you here. And that whisper is all I have right now. But I give it to you.
Scrolling, breathing, existing. God. Most of my days look the same now. Wake up, check my phone, scroll, reply, work, scroll more, eat something, keep scrolling, go to bed. And somewhere in between, I breathe, I move, I function, but I don't really live. I don't feel wonder, I don't feel depth, I don't feel you. Just the soft hum of screens and silence. Just this rhythmless routine. People ask how I'm doing and I say, just tired. But it's more than that. It's not a body tired, it's a soul tired. A kind of weariness that sleep doesn't touch. And the worst part is, I've gotten used to it. Used to autopilot. used to feeling flat, used to surviving in fragments. I scroll through hundreds of images a day. People laughing, people achieving, people performing joy. And I try to feel something. Envy, admiration, inspiration. But instead, I just keep scrolling. Like maybe if I go far enough, I'll stumble upon something that wakes me up inside. But I don't. Because it's not the world that's numb, it's me. I could sit in a room full of laughter and still feel alone. I could receive love and still feel unworthy. I could be surrounded by color and still feel gray. God, what is this place I'm in? This quiet fog, this life on repeat, this invisible shell where I pretend to be okay because it's easier than explaining the ache I can't define. And you know what's strange? Even in all this scrolling and breathing and existing, I still think of you. Not in grand dramatic ways, just tiny flickering thoughts. God, do you see me? God, is this all there is? God, will this ever lift? And sometimes, when the house is quiet and my phone is finally still, I hear something deeper, a longing. Not loud, not clear, but real. I want more than this. I want to feel again. I want to love fully. I want to see beauty and mean it. I want to sit in silence and know it's sacred, not empty. I want to wake up and not dread the day before it even begins. But I don't know how to get there from here. I don't know how to cross this numb valley without getting swallowed by it. So I bring you this version of me, the scrolling me, the distracted me, the half awake, half present, half feeling me, the one who moves through the day like a shadow and wonders if you miss the real me too. Can you meet me here, God? In the middle of the monotony, in the sigh between two scrolls, in the pause between one thought and the next? Because I believe you can. I believe you still enter the ordinary. You still touch the numb. You still reach for the ones who can't even reach back. So, here I am. No passion, no tears, just breath, just quiet, just a soul whispering, "Wake me if you're near." And maybe even that small whisper is a sign that not all of me is asleep.
I miss feeling anything. Joy, sadness, excitement, grief, wonder, even pain. Because now, everything just feels muted. Like I'm watching my life happen through a thick sheet of glass. I can see it, but I can't touch it. I remember what it was like to feel deeply, to cry during worship, to laugh until my stomach hurt, to grieve so hard that it left me breathless, but real, to fall in love with moments, with sunrises, with songs, with people. But now, everything is flat, still, blurry. And I don't know how I got here. I don't know what happened between the person I used to be and the one who sits here now, staring at nothing and begging for anything to stir inside again. Sometimes I replay old memories, just to remember what emotions used to feel like. That day I danced in the kitchen without music. That moment I held someone's hand and meant it. That time I sat under the stars and felt so small, but so seen. Where did that version of me go? God, I miss her. The one who cried at movies, the one who gasped at beauty,
The one who felt every little thing with her whole chest. Even when it hurt, at least it was alive. Now I just go through the day waiting for something to hit me, to crack me open, to remind me that I'm still in here. But nothing does. And I hate this. I hate the numbness. I hate this cold silence in my chest where warmth used to live. And the strangest part is, I know you're still here. I believe it, even now. Even through the fog, even through the deadness. But that almost makes it harder. Knowing you're near, but not being able to feel you. Knowing I'm not alone, but still feeling so disconnected inside. It's like being in a room with someone I love deeply, but I've forgotten how to speak their language. I keep looking at you, hoping you'll read my eyes, because my soul has forgotten how to pray with passion. And yet, beneath the numbness, beneath the tired smiles and cold routines, there's this ache. This desperate, quiet ache that says, God, please, let me feel again. Let me cry. Let me laugh. Let me care. Let me long. Let me ache even, if it means I'm still alive in here somewhere. Because not feeling anything is starting to feel worse than any pain ever did. I don't want to live the rest of my life as a distant observer in my own story. I don't want to float through sacred moments without tasting them. I don't want to hold people I love and feel nothing inside. I want to wake up again, emotionally, spiritually, humanly. God, I miss myself, and I miss how close I felt to you when I was fully alive, fully broken maybe, but at least real. So if there's anything you can do, if there's any way you still touch the frozen parts of a soul, then I'm asking now. Touch me, thaw me, break through whatever wall this is. I give you permission to disrupt my numbness if it means I can feel again, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's messy, even if it hurts. I'd rather feel pain than float in this emptiness forever. Because at least pain means the heart still works. So here I am, God, still breathing, still asking, still hoping that somewhere deep inside, I'm not gone, that you can still reach me, that I can still come back, that I can feel again.
Do you still see me, God? God, can I ask you something I've been afraid to say out loud? Do you still see me? I don't mean see like casually noticing. I mean truly, deeply see me. Because lately, I don't even see myself. I look in the mirror and I recognize the face, but not the eyes. They used to shine. Now they're just tired. And when I walk through the world, I feel invisible, like a ghost in plain sight. Like a shadow sitting at the table, smiling on cue, but not really there. I used to feel known, not just by people, but by you. I used to believe that you were watching over me, not with distance, but with tenderness. That you knew my thoughts before I spoke them. That you held my heart even when I didn't have words. But now I feel like a blurry background character in the story of my own life. Like I faded, slowly, quietly, until I wasn't sure if anyone, even you, could still find me. I know the verses. I know what they say. You are El Roi, the God who sees. You know when I sit and when I rise. You knit me together in my mother's womb. But God, if that's true, why do I feel so unseen? Why do I feel like I could disappear and no one would notice, not even me? Why do I whisper prayers and wonder if they fall to the ground like dust?
Why do I feel like a number in the crowd instead of a name in your hands? I'm not accusing you. I'm just aching for connection, for recognition, for confirmation that I still matter, even in this numb, blank version of myself. Because I'm not the person I used to be. Not vibrant, not passionate, not hopeful. I'm faded. I'm quiet. I'm tired. And I wonder, do you still see her, the one I was before all this? Do you still believe there's beauty in the shadow of me? Because I don't feel worth seeing. Not when I'm this cold, not when I've stopped dreaming, not when I move through the day without feeling alive in my own skin. But something deep in me hopes that even now, even in this numb and silent place, you still see me. You still know where I am. You still whisper my name when I forget to speak it. You still trace the outline of my soul, even when I've lost track of its shape. Because if you still see me, then maybe I'm not as lost as I feel. Maybe I don't need to find my way back to being who I was. I just need to let you meet me in who I am. Even if that person is numb, even if that person feels like a flicker instead of a flame. So God, do you see me now? In this room, in this chair, in this stillness, do you see the girl who's trying? Even if her voice doesn't shake the heavens? Do you see the soul that wants to believe, even when belief feels thin? Because I don't need fireworks. I don't need visions. I just need to know I'm not invisible to you. Not forgotten, not dismissed, not overlooked in a world that moves too fast. Just seen. Is you still see me? Then maybe I can learn to see myself again. Maybe I can believe that this version of me, raw, empty, undone, is still worthy of being held. So I'll sit here, not asking you to fix me, just asking you to find me. Because I'm still here, even if I'm quiet, even if I'm not shining. Still here, still hoping, still seen, I hope.
The mask I wear so well. God, there's something I need to confess. I've become really good at pretending. I don't mean lying. I mean surviving, performing, holding it all together, at least on the outside. You know the mask I'm talking about, don't you? The one I wear so well. The one that smiles when I'm breaking. The one that says, I'm fine, before anyone even asks. It's polished. It's convincing. It's my shield against a world that doesn't know what to do with brokenness. And God, I hate how good I've gotten at it. There was a time when I let myself be soft, let myself be vulnerable, let others see the mess. But somewhere along the way, I learned it was safer to pretend, to be the strong one, the steady one, the one who doesn't need help. And now I'm so used to the mask, I forget what my own face feels like. I laugh on cue. I say all the right things. I play the role. But behind the performance, I'm tired. So tired. Because pretending is heavy, even heavier than the pain it hides. It takes effort to smile when your heart is numb. It takes energy to reassure others when you don't even know how to reassure yourself. It takes everything you have to keep showing up
when you're slowly disappearing inside. And the worst part, most people believe the mask. They see the surface, the calm, the capable, the composed, and they never ask what's underneath. Because why would they? I've given them no reason to. I've played the part too well. But you see through it, don't you? You always have. You see the micro cracks behind the smile. You hear the silence behind my answers. You notice when my voice is steady, but my soul is trembling. And I wonder, how long have I been trying to impress you, too? How long have I been praying like I need to sound holy instead of honest? How long have I been coming to you with polished words when what I really needed was to collapse at your feet and say, I'm not okay. I don't want to hide anymore, God. Not from you, not from myself. Because I can't heal behind a mask. I can't breathe with all this armor on. I can't be known if I'm always performing. So today, I take it off. The mask, the role, the smile that doesn't belong to me. I lay it down. Even if no one else sees. Even if I still have to wear it out there in the world, at least here, in your presence, I can be real. Messy, uncertain, weary, but real. And I believe that you don't love the mask. You love me. The soul underneath, the voice that trembles, the heart that's afraid but still reaches, the one that whispers, please God, don't let me disappear. So hold me here, God, in the rawness, in the undoing, in the sacred space where I no longer pretend, because I think this is where healing begins, not in being fixed, but in being seen. And for the first time in a long time, I want to be seen, not just admired, not just tolerated, but truly seen. So here I am. No mask, no performance, just me. And I pray that's enough.
I'm still showing up. Barely. God, I don't know how I'm still here. Not just breathing, but praying, even whispering your name. Because honestly, there are days I don't want to get out of bed. Days I stare at the ceiling and ask myself, what's the point? And yet, somehow, I still show up. Maybe not in the ways people expect. Maybe not with fire or praise or passion. But I show up. With quiet footsteps. With trembling hope. With barely there faith that still refuses to die. Some days, the only prayer I can manage is, God, please. And I think you hear even that. I hope you do. Because I don't come to you as the faithful one, the joyful one, the strong one. I come as the one who almost didn't come at all. The one who didn't feel like praying, but whispered anyway. The one who didn't feel like singing, but hummed quietly in the dark. The one who didn't feel like believing, but still whispered your name when no one else was listening. God, I'm not bringing you much today. Not insight, not fire, not eloquence. Just presence. Just a tired, half-empty heart that still walked through the door.
And maybe that's the bravest thing I've done all week. Not quitting. Not turning away. Not shutting down completely. Just showing up. Even if I'm dragging myself here. Even if I don't have the words. Even if I'm not sure you'll speak back. I'm here. And that has to mean something, right? Because I could have turned away. I could have numbed out. I could have chosen silence. Not the sacred kind, but the kind that grows like weeds in a forgotten place. But I didn't. I chose to stay. To keep coming. To keep lifting these empty hands in the hope that maybe, just maybe, you'll fill them again. And God, if I'm honest, part of me wonders why. Why do I keep showing up when nothing seems to change? Why do I keep seeking you when I still feel distant? Why do I keep hoping when hope itself feels like a burden? But maybe it's because deep down, I know something true. You don't need me to be strong to be with me. You don't need me to be full to be faithful. You don't need me to be ready, just present. And that's what I am. Barely, but still. Still here, still breathing, still yours. God, I don't know what tomorrow looks like. I don't know if I'll feel better. I don't know if clarity will come. But I do know this. If all I can do is show up, I will. Even if I crawl. Even if I come in silence. Even if I sit in the back corner of my own soul, too numb to stand, I will still come. Because I believe, somehow, you honor the ones who stay when they have every reason to leave. So this is me, staying, not because I feel strong, but because you are. Not because I trust myself, but because I still trust you. And maybe that's the quiet miracle of today. Not breakthrough, but presence. The kind that says, I'm still here, even if it's barely.
My body moves, my soul sleeps. God, I'm still breathing, still walking, still doing what needs to be done, but I can't shake the feeling that part of me is missing. My body moves, but my soul feels like it's asleep, not resting, not healing, just distant. Like it packed its bags and went quiet somewhere deep inside me and never came back. I get up. I go through the day. I talk to people. I answer emails. I smile when expected. I function. But it all feels hollow, like I'm acting out the script of someone else's life. Like I'm watching myself from the outside, a body on autopilot, a voice saying all the right things, a heart absent. I remember when I used to feel things in my chest. Butterflies, rushes of joy, sudden awe, even heartbreak, sharp and real and human. Now, just static, just weight, just emptiness that stretches across my ribcage like fog. It's not that I've stopped believing. It's not even that I'm hopeless. It's that I'm disconnected from others, from myself, from you. God, where did I go? Where did I go? Because I miss me. I miss the parts of me that used to light up, that used to feel deeply, that used to care enough to cry.
I'm not cold, I'm not cruel, I'm just dulled. And the scariest thing is, I've learned how to live like this. I've adapted to the soul sleep, to this inner silence, to this life that looks okay from the outside, but doesn't feel like mine on the inside. People say, "You're doing great. You're so strong. You've really got it together." And I nod, because I don't know how to explain what they can't see. How do you explain that your soul feels like it's floating just out of reach, close enough to sense but too far to touch? How do you explain that even in a room full of people, you feel like a quiet absence? How do you explain that your body shows up to everything, but your spirit has been silent for months? I don't know what caused it. Maybe it was the slow wear and tear of disappointment. Maybe it was heartbreak too deep to fully process. Maybe it was just life. But whatever it was, something in me went quiet, and I don't know how to wake it up again. So I come to you, God, the one who breathed life into dust, the one who awakens dead things, the one who calls souls back from hiding. And I ask you, gently, desperately, can you wake me? Not with noise, not with pressure, just with presence, with warmth, with mercy, with eyes that see the part of me that even I've lost sight of. I don't need a miracle. I don't need a breakthrough. I just need you to reach into the quiet and remind me that I'm still alive in there somewhere, that my soul isn't gone, just sleeping, waiting, longing to feel safe enough to rise again. So here I am, a moving body, a silent soul, a whisper of the person I used to be. And I'm asking you, if you're near, if you still see me, please, God, call me back. Wake me gently, hold me patiently, wait with me until I can feel again. Because I don't want to live like this forever. Numb, disconnected, absent. I want to return to myself, to you, to life. So I'll keep showing up. I'll keep breathing. I'll keep whispering your name through the stillness, even if my soul is sleeping. Because maybe one day soon, you'll whisper back. And that one whisper will be enough to stir something real in the deepest part of me.
Even worship feels empty. God, there's something I never thought I'd say out loud, but here it is. Even worship feels empty now. And it hurts to admit that, because once it was everything to me. Once it was the place I ran to, not just out of duty, but delight. I would sing with tears running down my cheeks because I felt you. I felt known, held, alive. Now I mouth the words. I raise my hands. I sit in the same spaces, hear the same songs, read the same scriptures, but nothing moves. Not my heart, not my spirit, not even my breath. It's like I'm going through the motions of something I used to believe would bring me closer to you. And maybe it still does, but I can't feel it anymore. The songs don't pierce me. The silence doesn't still me. The scriptures feel like ink on paper instead of fire in my bones. And I'm scared, God, because if I can't feel you here, in the places that once brought me to my knees, then where can I feel you? Have I changed? Have I drifted too far? Has something gone wrong in me? Because I still believe. That much hasn't changed. I believe you're good. I believe you're present. I believe you here. But I don't feel it. Not like before.
not in the way that used to crack me wide open. Now I just sing because I remember what it felt like when it meant something. I lift my hands because that's what I used to do when you felt near. I read your word hoping the words will wake something in me again. But most days, it's quiet, cold, mechanical. And that makes me feel like a fraud. I don't want to worship from memory. I don't want to serve from habit. I don't want to live a faith that's hollow on the inside. But what do I do when my heart no longer responds? What do I do when the places that once fed me now feel like echoes? I know you haven't changed. I know you're not withholding yourself to punish me, but it feels like something sacred slipped out of my hands, and I don't know how to get it back. So I keep showing up. Not because it feels good, but because something in me still believes it matters, even if I don't feel it. Maybe that's what faith really is, God. Not the fire, but the flicker. Not the shout, but the whisper that says, I still choose you. So here I am, in the middle of empty worship, with a voice that feels disconnected from my soul, with hands that rise more out of memory than passion. And I say, I still choose you. Even when I don't feel, even when it's dry, even when my spirit is silent and my song is flat. Because somewhere under all this numbness, there is a quiet longing that refuses to die. A longing to feel again, to worship with tears again, to mean every word again, to sense your presence like oxygen again. So I'll keep coming, even if I just stand in the back with empty eyes, even if I just press play on a worship song and stare at the wall, even if all I can do is whisper your name with no feeling behind it. I'll come, because you're still worthy, even when I'm numb. Because you don't require passion, just honesty. And if honesty is all I have, then that's what I give. So here it is, God, my empty worship, my weary hands, my silent voice, still reaching, still hoping, still believing that one day soon, these dry bones will sing again.
When hope hurts more than giving up. God, there's something I never thought I'd say, but here it is. Sometimes hope hurts more than giving up. I know that sounds wrong, maybe even faithless, but I'm not trying to be dramatic. I'm just tired. Tired of hoping for something that never comes. Tired of waiting for the feeling to return. Tired of whispering, maybe tomorrow, when tomorrow looks exactly like today. There's a quiet pain in holding on, because hope makes you look for signs. Hope makes you feel again, just enough to ache. Hope opens your hands toward heaven, and sometimes they stay empty. I used to think hope was light, soft, gentle, lifting. But lately, it feels like weight, like something I carry on my back while I wander through a desert with no map and no voice calling me forward. I don't want to sound ungrateful. I don't want to dishonor the beauty of hope. But I have to be honest, God. It's hard to keep hoping when it feels like I'm the only one still waiting. It's hard to keep believing when the silence stretches on so long that I start to wonder if I've made this all up in my head. I still believe you're good, but what does that mean
when goodness feels so far away. I still believe you see me, but why does it feel like you've gone quiet at the very moment I need to hear you most? I've prayed, I've waited, I've surrendered, I've tried, and still, the numbness, still, the silence, still, the ache of unanswered expectation. There's a kind of pain that comes from letting go, but there's another kind that comes from holding on when your hands are blistered and your arms are shaking. And I'm somewhere in between the two, not ready to let go, but not sure how much longer I can hold on. So here's my truth, God. Hope is starting to feel like a knife in my chest, not because I don't want to stop hoping, but because I don't know what to do when hope only seems to echo into silence. People say, don't give up. Keep trusting. God's timing is perfect. And I nod. I smile. I repeat the words. But inside, I'm tired of holding out my heart and getting nothing but quiet in return. I want to be strong. I want to be steadfast. But more than anything, I want to be seen. I want someone, especially you, to notice that I'm still here, still hoping, still waiting, even when hope doesn't feel like a gift anymore, even when it feels like a burden I don't know how to set down. But maybe, just maybe, this is the kind of hope you understand best. Not the loud, confident kind. Not the hope that dances and declares victory in advance, but the quiet, trembling hope that refuses to let go, even when it hurts. So if that's what this is, if this bleeding, fragile hope is still a kind of faith, then I bring it to you. Here it is. Not pretty, not powerful, but real. Hope that barely breathes, but refuses to die. Hope that says, God, I don't feel you right now, but I still think you're here. Hope that whispers, even if it hurts, I'll keep showing up. Because even though hope feels like a knife today, I still believe it might become a key tomorrow. So I won't let go. Not yet. But I will ask you, God, please see me. Please hold me. Please show me that this ache in my chest isn't the end of the story.
God, wake something in me. God, I don't even know what I'm asking anymore. I just know I don't want to stay like this. This numb, this distant, this quiet inside. I don't need a miracle. I don't need everything to be fixed. I don't even need to feel better right now. But I do need something to wake up inside me. Just one spark, one flicker of life, one corner of my soul that remembers how to feel. Because I'm afraid that the longer I live like this, half alive, half asleep, the harder it will be to come back. I don't want to become someone who just exists, who breathes and works and smiles, but doesn't feel. I want to live, really live. Not perfectly, not without pain, but fully. I want to care again, to cry when something matters, to feel wonder again, the kind that takes your breath away and reminds you that this world still holds beauty. I want to laugh from my gut, to be moved by a song, to hold someone's hand and feel present, to sit with you, God, and know, even without words, that you are near. But right now, everything is muted, like there's a wall of glass around my heart, like I'm watching life but not touching it. So, I ask you, if you still breathe life into dry bones, if you still speak to sleeping hearts, if you still reach into silent spaces, then please, God, wake something in me. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be loud. Just something real. A whisper, a tear, a pause in the numbness, a moment where something inside me says, there, that part's still alive. Because I don't know how to wake myself. I've tried. I've read the books, I've said the prayers, I've listened to the songs, but my soul feels like it's hiding under a blanket of snow. Still, cold, waiting. So, I come to you, the one who knows the rhythm of my heart, even when I can't hear it anymore. The one who knit me together and never once lost track of where I went, even when I did. God, I don't need you to shout. Just breathe. Breathe something new into the dry soil of my heart. Let something stir beneath the surface. Let something rise. Even if I don't recognize it yet, even if it takes time, even if it comes as a single fragile moment in a sea of silence, I'll take it. Because that flicker, that tiny flame, might be the beginning of my return. So if I'm still yours, and I believe I am, then come close. Lean near to the part of me that gave up on feeling. Place your hand on it gently and whisper, "Wake up, love, I'm still here." And even if I don't feel it right away, even if it takes time, even if the numbness lingers, I'll believe something is shifting. Even now, even here. Because you are the God who calls dead things to life. And if you can wake the world from winter, then surely you can wake me.
Even if I can't cry, hear me. God, I haven't cried in a long time. I used to cry easily at songs, at sunsets, at prayers that reached the softest parts of me. But now, nothing. Not because I'm strong, not because I'm healed, but because something inside me just shut down. I want to cry. I want to break. I want to fall to my knees with tears that mean something. But the tears won't come. And I don't know why. Maybe I've cried too many times into pillows that never dried. Maybe I've reached for comfort too often and found silence waiting. Maybe I'm afraid that if I let the tears rise now, they won't stop. Or maybe I'm just too tired. And that scares me because crying used to be proof that I was still human, that I still felt, that something inside me was soft enough to move. But now I feel like a stone, a hollowed out echo of who I used to be. But I still whisper, even now, God, please hear me. Even if there are no tears to show you I'm serious, even if my voice is quiet and flat, even if I say the same prayer every night with no change, please hear me anyway. Hear me through the numbness. Hear me through the silence. Hear me through the routine words that I still choose to speak, even when they feel like they float into space unanswered. Because I believe, even now, that you're not measuring the emotion in my voice. You're listening for the truth in my heart. And the truth is, I want you, still, always. Even if I don't feel you, even if I can't express it the way I used to, even if the tears that once poured now refuse to come. My longing hasn't left. It's just buried beneath layers of exhaustion and silence. So I offer you this quiet ache, this dry prayer, this still face with tired eyes, and I say, God, hear me, even like this, even now. Because I believe you hear more than words. You hear the weight behind them. You hear the prayers we can't form. You hear the parts of us that no one else notices, not even ourselves. So even if I can't cry, let my silence count as worship. Let my stillness count as seeking. Let this dull, soft whisper find its way to your heart. I don't need fireworks. I don't need emotional revival. I just need to know that you hear me when I'm quiet, that I don't have to perform sorrow to be seen, that I don't have to feel deeply to be loved, that I don't have to break open to be held. So here I am, God, not weeping, not trembling, not singing, just whispering, just staying, just saying, God, even if I can't cry, please still hear me. And I trust that you do. Hold me where I'm most numb. God, I don't even know what to pray for anymore. Not strength, not answers, not even peace. Just this. Hold me. Hold me in the place I've stopped feeling, the place I've stopped fighting, the place I've stopped believing anything will change. I've learned how to carry numbness like armor, to move through life with a quiet emptiness that no one notices because I've made it look normal. But you see it, don't you? You see the part of me that's not just tired, it's disconnected. The place where joy used to live, but packed its bags quietly. The place where tenderness used to rest, but hasn't returned in months. The place I stopped hoping because it just hurt too much. God, that's where I need you. Not where I'm strong, not where I'm healing, not even where I'm asking, but in the deep, silent places I no longer mention out loud. That dark room inside me that I locked years ago, hoping no one, not even you, would knock. Because it felt easier to ignore it than to risk reopening what I couldn't fix. But now I know the numbness hasn't protected me. It's only kept me isolated, kept me from feeling, from connecting, from being me. So if you're still near, if you still reach for people like me, who no longer cry, who no longer shout, who no longer ask loudly, then I ask you this quietly. Come sit in that place with me. Don't fix it. Don't rush it. Just be there. Hold me where I've gone cold. Wrap your presence around the places I don't even know how to describe, where grief became silence, where disappointment became distance, where hope tried and failed too many times. Because I don't need a sermon. I don't need reminders. I don't need anyone to tell me to just trust again. I need presence. I need nearness. I need you. To come into the numbness, not afraid of it, not disappointed by it, but willing to hold me in it. Even if I don't change today, even if nothing stirs right now, even if I still feel far from feeling, just hold me. Stay in the room I've hidden for so long and remind me that even this version of me is not beyond comfort. Because somewhere underneath the numbness, there's a quiet ache, still hoping to be seen, to be touched, to be loved without having to perform emotion. So, if you're still listening, God, if you're still close, hold me where I'm most numb, where I feel least worthy of holding, where I stopped believing anyone would come. And stay, even in the silence, even if I can't respond, even if I just sit here, eyes blank, heart distant, just stay. Because maybe your presence in the place I thought was too cold to matter is exactly where healing begins.
I want to want again. God, there's something I've been afraid to admit, even to myself. It's not just that I feel numb. It's not just that I've lost joy or peace or clarity. It's that I've lost desire, the longing, the hunger, the fire. I don't even know what I want anymore. And that terrifies me because I remember what it felt like to want with my whole heart, to want closeness with you, to want purpose, to want connection, to want healing, not just for others, but for myself. Now I just float, not reaching, not resisting, just drifting. I used to pray bold prayers. I used to dream wild dreams. I used to ache for meaning. But these days, even wanting feels exhausting. Even hope feels heavy. Even desire feels foreign. And yet, somewhere under all the dust, a whisper rises. I want to want again. That's all I can say right now. Not I'm ready, not I believe, just I wish I still could. God, what do you do with that? With someone who doesn't even know how to want anymore? I hope you don't turn away. I hope you don't give up on people who have nothing left but flickers. Because I think you know exactly what to do with broken embers. I think you kneel beside souls like mine and breathe gently until something stirs again, until ashes remember they were once flame, until dry ground remembers it once drank rain, until a weary heart remembers how to want. I'm not asking for passion today. I'm not asking for joy to come rushing in. I'm just asking for a crack in the stillness, a tremble beneath the surface, a soft breath that says, you still can. You still will. You still belong here. Because I don't want to stay numb forever. I don't want to live without longing. I don't want to call this floating faithful when it's really just fear wearing silence. God, help me want again. Want to pray. Want to feel. Want to hope. Want to come closer. Not just because I should, but because my soul begins to crave it again. Even if it starts small, even if it's just a flicker at first, even if all I can say is, God, I want to want you again. That's enough for now. I believe that's enough for you. Because you've never asked for perfection. Only honesty, only presence, only a willingness to let you in, even to the coldest parts of me. So I opened the door, just a little, just enough to whisper, God, I want to want again. Please meet me here.
God, thank you for staying in the dark. God, I don't know when it happened, but I've started to see something I didn't before. You never left me, even when I felt nothing. Even when the silence stretched so long that I thought you had turned your face away. You were there, quiet, still, present. You didn't barge in. You didn't demand a reaction. You didn't shake me out of my numbness or scold me for it. You just stayed. You stayed when I stopped feeling. You stayed when I couldn't cry. You stayed when I whispered prayers I wasn't even sure you were hearing. You stayed. And that, God, that means more than you know. Because so many people walk away when things go quiet, when the spark fades, when joy disappears, when I stop being easy to love. But not you. You chose to stay in the dark with me. You didn't wait for me to pull myself together. You didn't need me to perform faith. You didn't require me to be full of emotion and worship and strength. You simply sat in the silence with me, like a friend who doesn't try to fix, but simply refuses to leave. I used to think you only met me in the light, when I was praying loudly, worshiping boldly, living passionately. But now I know you are just as present in the shadows, maybe even more. Because it's in the dark that I realized what love really looks like. Not a quick fix, not a burst of noise, but steady presence, unshakable nearness, gentle patience. God, I don't have much to give you today. I'm still numb in places, still tired, still unsure of when the warmth will return. But I see you now. Not in flashing lights, not in loud answers, but in the fact that you didn't walk away. You didn't leave me alone in the dark. You sat with me. You stayed. You stayed long enough for me to start noticing that even in the numbness, I was never abandoned. Even in the silence, I was still held. Even when I stopped believing I was worth loving, you didn't move. God, thank you. Not just for the moments when you lifted me high, but for the ones when you simply didn't leave. Thank you for sitting in the room when I didn't know how to speak. Thank you for standing in the fog when I couldn't find the path. Thank you for holding the pieces when I didn't even know they were breaking. And thank you for not being afraid of my darkness. You are not intimidated by it. You are not ashamed of it. You don't need me to switch on the light to be near me. You are the light, and you stay even when I can't see you. So today, I don't ask for a breakthrough. I don't ask for the numbness to vanish. I just say this. Thank you. Thank you for staying in the dark, for not needing me to be okay to be with me, for proving that real love doesn't show up for the celebration, but for the silence. I may not feel everything yet, but I feel this. Gratitude. Soft. Quiet. True. And maybe that's the beginning of something new. Even if I still feel nothing, I still believe. God, I wish I could say this ends with a miracle, that something cracked open inside me, that I feel joy again, that I woke up today and everything was different. But I don't, and it's not. I still feel quiet,
still numb in places, still waiting for emotions to return like lost birds, still unsure when or if the fire will flicker again. But this I know, I still believe, even if I don't feel, even if worship feels flat, even if tears won't come, even if silence lingers longer than I hoped, I still believe you're here. Because faith isn't always fire. Sometimes it's choosing you in the middle of the fog. Sometimes it's staying when everything in me wants to drift. Sometimes it's whispering, I believe, with dry lips and empty hands. And maybe that kind of faith is the deepest kind. Not the kind that comes easily. Not the kind that rises with music and crowds and lifted hands, but the kind that stays put, even when the soul doesn't sing. The kind that says, I will not run. I will not fake it. I will not abandon you, even if I don't feel you right now. God, this is my offering. Not passion, not clarity, not breakthrough, just faith. Still here, still breathing, still reaching. Even when nothing moves, even when nothing stirs, even if I still feel nothing, I still believe. Because somewhere beneath the numbness, beneath the exhaustion, beneath the quiet ache of not knowing what's wrong, there's a truth that hasn't gone silent. You are still good. You are still near. You are still mine. And I am still yours. Not because I feel it, but because I know it. And today, that knowing is enough. It's not loud, it's not glowing, but it's rooted, steady, unmoving. So I'll keep walking, slowly, honestly, sometimes limping, sometimes crawling, but always toward you. Not because I'm brave, but because you are faithful. Not because I'm strong, but because you stayed. Not because I'm healed, but because you hold me, even when I'm not. So thank you, God, for waiting through my silence, for holding me in my numbness, for never asking me to feel something just to prove I'm still yours. I still feel nothing, but I still believe. And sometimes that is the greatest act of worship I can give. Amen.